Good morning, lovely people. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Case. I am one half of TF 2.0, formerly known as Tulips Freedom MP, which is my wife. She's the other half, and more than likely you won't really get to see her that much on the channel these days because we don't really vlog anymore. If you do see her, it's probably going to be in some short clip when we're doing some DIYs around the house. But anyway, thank you for joining me this morning. It is just a little bit after 8 o'clock. I'm on my way to the trail to get a little bit of a brisk walk in and start running my errands. I'm trying to stay consistent with building up my tolerance for working out again. So we shall see how this goes. I'm putting my faith in myself today and being my own accountability partner. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about this morning, right? So, you know, it's so easy for us to point the finger at someone else for the wrongdoings that they've done to us and continually blame them for making us feel a certain type of way, for making us go through certain situations that maybe we didn't have to go through if it weren't for them. But at some point, when does the blaming stop, and when do we start pointing the fingers at ourselves and saying we have accountability in how they treated us and how we allowed things to happen? And to a certain extent, I'm not going to say this is for everybody, but to a certain extent, I mean, people who have, of course, been incapacitated against their will and they couldn't stand up for themselves, you know, that's a whole different issue. But for those of us who are of sound mind and body, and we know the difference between right and wrong, however, we stay in situations because we don't necessarily have the strength to be able to move away from them, to be able to get the courage to walk away. I'm talking about us, and forgive me because I got y'all propped up in on my dashboard here. So yeah, I'm talking about those situations where, you know, maybe we've been in a bad relationship, and not just a romantic relationship. We can talk about this in friendships. I had a friend many years ago, and I mean, she's still a friendly person, but she's not my friend. I can be very polite and cordial to her and whatnot, but she's not my friend. At some point, I had to realize over the course of the years that I had no right to be mad at her for the things that she kept asking me to do, and I kept doing them because I valued the friendship on a different level than what she may have valued it at, or maybe she didn't see things as wrong, or you know, whatever. And so at some point I had to say, you know what, this is my fault. Well, I don't have to continue to do these things that I'm not happy with, when I'm not being appreciated, when I'm not feeling valued, when I feel like I'm being used. And I had to stand up for myself and cut off the relationship and basically say, yeah, I don't have any time or room for you in my life. I think when we stop pointing the finger at people and victim blaming, and blaming and us being the victim, we can move on from a situation faster, because it's easy to go down a rabbit hole when we're pointing the finger at somebody else and putting all the blame on them. But when we shift it and start putting the blame and we put the onus on us, you know how fast we move out of that? Because that doesn't make us feel good. It doesn't make us feel good. We're like, you know what? I messed up. If I had the courage, if I didn't repeatedly keep going back, if I didn't put myself in the situation over and over and over again, then I wouldn't be where I am. And nobody feels good when you start realizing the role that you had to play in unfortunate situations. So that's my takeaway, you know, for you this morning as you head out on a Monday. Realize the role you play in the negative situations in your life. You could have a terrible mother, you can have a terrible father, you can have a terrible husband, a terrible wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. Your relationship with your kids might not be that great, but if everybody's of sound mind and body, and you are continually, and you're in the same situation over and over again where somebody's doing you a certain type of way, is it them or is it you? Listen, that's a hard pill I had to swallow myself. And so, yeah. And don't be bringing people down with your negativity. Don't try to get other people on your bandwagon because you want to blame someone for a situation that you were put in over and over again that you have the ability to walk away from. Now, you may not have been strong enough to do it, but that still doesn't really excuse the fact that you still had some accountability in it. People can only do to us what we allow them to do. And it's not their fault that you don't have the strength or the courage or whatever, or finances to be able to move around. That's not their fault. It's not their fault at all. So take that with you this morning. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. That's all I had to say.